Hello, hello, hello. Hi guys. Happy Tuesday. I am coming in live to just check in on you, to talk about how things are going so far in the challenge, make myself available to answer any questions, and I also have a few key things I want to touch on to help you to stay committed, stay motivated, and make sure that you finish this challenge. So I see you guys coming on live. If you are watching this live video, will you say hi? Will you leave a comment? Let me know that you're here. And why don't you let me know where you are joining in from? So I know we have people all over the world doing this live challenge, which is so much fun. So let me know where you're joining from. Just type in the chat box. And I want to start off by first speaking just very briefly to those of you who are in this group, you're watching this live video or the replay, and you have not started the challenge yet. So the rest of you who have already started, we are going to dive into that. We're going to spend some time talking about the challenge, but I'm specifically talking for a moment to you, the one who signed up for this challenge or joined this free group, and you have not done a workout yet. No shame, no guilt, okay? Here at The Balanced Life, we are all about getting rid of the guilt. In fact, our tagline is grace over guilt. So if that is you, don't feel guilty, don't beat yourself up. We're only on day 2, but promise me this, that you will not let the fact that you haven't started yet keep you from doing anything at all, okay? So I don't know about you, I have done this before. I've signed up for free challenges. I get day 1 and then I don't do it. And then I get day 2 and then I don't do it. And then I'm like, now I'm already 3 days behind. So it just collects in my inbox. And then I'm like, apparently I'm not doing this challenge. Don't let that be you, okay? It's only day 2. So you can jump in right now. So if that is you, here's what I want you to do. Don't sweat day 1. Don't even worry about it right now. Just promise me that after this video, or right now, you can leave, do the day 2 workout. It's 15 minutes. You can drop down on your floor, do it on the carpet, do it in your clothes, do it in your PJs. Just get it done. And then you're back in the groove. You can catch up on day 1 later this week when you have the time. Okay? So that's my encouragement to those of you who have not started yet. It's not too late. Do not use that as an excuse. We're only on day 2. We still have an entire week of workouts, more than a week, right? So that's my encouragement to you, okay? So let's see where you guys are joining in from. All over the place. North Dakota, Ontario, Australia, Michigan, Wisconsin. Hi, Becky. Boston, Idaho, Toronto. I love it. Dripping Springs. Just kidding. I was thinking of something else. I was going to make a reference to the movie Cars that I was just watching with my son, but that's somewhere else. I love it. Okay, so I just gave a charge to all of you who have not started yet. And Carol just chimed in and said, that is usually me, but this time is different. I love it. Okay. Okay, Michelle said, did day 1 miss today? So here's the thing. There's a good chance you're going to miss a day, right? Michelle, first of all, day 2 is not over, so you can drop right now, press play on your workout, and get it done before you go to bed tonight. You'll be so glad you did. You'll be so glad. You'll be like, well, it's only 15 minutes. I'm so glad I did that. But also, if you do miss a workout, let's talk about that really quick before we dive into everything else. If you do miss a workout during this challenge, here's my recommendation. Don't tell yourself that you have to catch up before you move on, okay? Just open your email for the day and do that day's workout. Just do it. 15 minutes, okay? And then if you have time, if you have an extra 15 minutes and energy, then maybe you can do one of the ones that you missed earlier in the week. You can catch up. But what happens is if you try to go in order and you don't want to just dive right in, then if you miss a bunch, then you're like, now I'm 3 days behind, and then you totally give up. So just jump in on the day that we are on, do the workout, and then if you have time throughout the week, tag on the ones you've missed, okay? And then if not, then tag those on at the end of the challenge, okay? There will be a little bit of free time where we'll keep the workouts public for just a few days for you to finish in case you missed anything. Okay, so let's talk about how it's going. Day 1, day 2, how are you feeling? Are you surprised? Are you overwhelmed? Are you enjoying it? You're feeling motivated? Tell me some things that you're feeling. I want to get a pulse for how you guys are doing. Jackie loved both workouts. Feeling it, yeah. So yes, second day was hard for me. Yep. So today's workout was quite a bit harder than day 1. So I would expect you to be saying that. I was been reading through hundreds of comments today, and I would absolutely expect you to think today was harder than day 1. So if that's how you felt, that's okay. That is good. That's exactly where you should be. Braun said, loved it. Felt Monday was too easy, but day 2 was hard. Yeah, and what you'll find based on comments here in the group is that there's sometimes a general consensus about which ones are harder and which ones are easier, but often it just varies person to person because we all have different bodies. We're all stronger in different areas, more mobile and flexible in different areas, and our challenges are different. So I would expect today to be harder. It was challenging. I'm going back through this challenge with you guys, and I'm like, ooh, we're at it. That was challenging for them. So don't let that discourage you, okay? Something that I want to remind you of is that I do not expect you to be able to do everything, okay? That would be crazy. That's like saying on day 1 you have to be an expert, right? I do not expect you to be able to do everything in a workout. I'm throwing new things at you. You're learning sometimes, like for the first time, if you don't have experience with Pilates, of what is she trying to say and what is my body trying to do? And you're just thinking about it so much, let alone necessarily having the strength and form to complete the exercise. So I don't want you to let that discourage you, okay? I want you to understand that you should feel awkward at times. You should feel like this is new if it's new to you, and that is okay. And sometimes we forget that we're trying to challenge ourselves, right? So I'll see comments sometimes from people being like, oh, I'm just so discouraged, I want to give up, that was so hard. And I'm like, it's supposed to be hard, right? You're trying to get stronger. The only way to get stronger is to challenge yourself, right? So if this was a breeze, if every workout was a breeze and you got through it no problem and you're like, look at me, I can do everything and I feel nothing and it's not hard, you're not going to get any stronger. So keep that in mind. Instead of when you go onto your mat and you do your workout, instead of feeling like, why can't I do this? I should be able to do this. Oh, I'm so out of shape, and kind of going down that negative cycle that so many of us can relate to, right? Maybe you are nodding your head like, yeah, I do that. Instead of going down that path, just remind yourself that it should be challenging to you. If you want to get stronger, you're going to have to try something that is challenging for your body. It's that simple. And some of it is just mental too in the beginning. It's like, what is she saying? And where am I putting my fingers and my elbows and all these things? But sisterhood members, are you on right now? If you are, can you chime in here for me and give some encouragement that over time you learn? Not only do you get more comfortable with the movements and the exercises, you also get more comfortable with my cueing and with what I'm trying to communicate. You also get stronger, and it doesn't take that long. I mean, of course it takes a while to build strength, but you will start to notice improvements in a short amount of time if you stick to it. So my encouragement to you is definitely to change that thought pattern. If you're the type of person that's tempted to beat yourself up just because something is hard, or to go down some shame spiral of, you know, how could you have let yourself get out of shape, and how could you have such weak core muscles, and, you know, stop right there. Okay, that's not why we're here. We're here to say, I'm taking 15 minutes for myself. I'm here to put myself in a situation that's going to help me build strength, improve my mobility, get myself healthier, and it's not always going to be perfect, and that's okay. So let me see what some of the questions I see going through are, so I don't miss them, just chatting away. Yes, roll-ups are hard. Roll-ups are hard. How many of you were challenged by the roll-up today? If so, you're not alone. It is a challenging exercise, and I've had clients who, some people it's more natural to, other people it's like not happening. I've had clients work for months and months to build up to it. So if you're feeling challenged by the roll-up, just know that that is normal and expected, and set a goal for yourself right now. Not that you can do it perfectly by the end of the week or the end of the challenge, because that might not happen. But commit to yourself that you will do the work, and you'll stay consistent, and you'll stay committed to your strength to master that roll-up, okay? Yes, Barb said the towel under the low back really helps me with the roll-ups. That's one of my favorite tips and modifications. I'm going to post, if I can, I'm going to post the link to the roll-up tutorial that I have over on YouTube. It provides a lot of modifications. So as you're working through it, the folded towel behind the back is a great one. Some of us have a bit too much of a curve in the lumbar spine, in the lower back. So that makes coming up off of the mat extremely challenging, because there's this space, there's this arch between our low back and the mat, and there's just like, it's not functioning right. So if you have that kind of lordosis, then you want to put a folded towel, small folded towel, like a hand towel, right underneath the small of your back. And what you'll find is that helps to fill that space in your spine, and it also helps you to have kind of a tactile object to push against as you really engage the core muscles and come back up. The other modification that I talk about quite a bit in this video that I'll post is using weights in your hands. At first, it's very counterintuitive. You think, why would I add weights to a roll-up? But adding the weights in your hands actually helps to counterbalance your weight, and that extra weight as you come up actually helps you to get back up without using momentum. So I'll post that in just a minute. Michelle said, I'm loving the workouts. 15 minutes fly by, but still feel the impact. Make it so much easier to fit into my busy schedule. Yes, Michelle, that is exactly why we do this. That is exactly it. So I love that you're experiencing that. Okay, so this is a great question, Lisa. I maybe responded to you earlier, or I responded to someone else who asked this exact same thing. She said, in the day 2 workout, so in the rollbacks at the beginning of the workout, feeling like my feet just will not stay on the ground. They just want to pop up. So what I'm going to guess that is related to, of course I can't be 100% right without knowing you in person, but for many of us, it's like a lack of mobility through the lumbar spine and the pelvis. So you want your pelvis to be tucking back as you roll. So kind of a lack of mobility there, and then a more of a tension, tightness, grabbing, using of the hip flexors, which also feels like for you, it's gonna feel like on the front of your thighs. So what happens is as you roll back, you end up kind of gripping and staying tight there, so your feet come up off of the mat. So the more we can start to get that mobility through your lumbar spine and your pelvis, and the more we can get those deep core muscles to kick in, not just your hip flexors, the easier it's going to be for you to keep the feet on the ground. So that's something that's going to come with, you guessed it, more Pilates, more practice, more time to start getting you engaging in this right way, to start getting you out of those hip flexors that are just grabbing and holding on, and help you to build that core strength and improve the mobility through your lower back so that you can do it with more ease. Yes, Caitlin said, finally restarting Pilates 6 months postpartum, roll-ups were not happening. Use the modifications, Caitlin, use them, and don't feel bad about it for 1 second, because you're still gonna get the work. For those of you who don't know, I am 12 months postpartum, 12 and a half now, maybe 13. And yes, I still consider that postpartum, with my twins. So my twins just turned 1. I have boy-girl twins. They're babies number 3 and 4 in our family. And it has taken me a year to really successfully build back up my core strength. And I'm still working on it. It's an ongoing thing. But Caitlin, right when I was getting back into it, it was like, holy moly, I was filming workouts for the sisterhood and I was like, that's not happening. So work with it, modify, don't feel bad about it for 1 second. Yes, Amanda says 15 minutes is perfect for me right now, and the mental health aspect is making a huge difference. Yay, I'm so glad. When you can make this commitment to yourself to do 15 minutes of physical exercise, especially Pilates, it's going to help connect your mind to your body, and then this simple mindfulness assignment, what a well-rounded thing you're doing for yourself. The results, I'm not kidding, can be so powerful. Small changes can have a huge impact. So I'm so glad you're experiencing that. Let's see. Joined your challenge and another challenge. Yeah, I bet you're tired. Okay, love that it's only 15 minutes. Roll-ups are impossible. Roll-ups hard. Yep. Okay, let's see what I'm missing here. Gina said, I imagine spending 15 minutes on the beach exercising instead of my living room, without the gulls though, without the seagulls. How about those birds, huh? You never know what you're gonna get when you're filming on the beach. It was just a peaceful moment. I'm just counting and talking, and all of a sudden the flock of seagulls just flew at me. Oh my gosh, we get some funny things. Sisterhood members, you guys see some of the funny things. Dogs that come up and say hi to me, people in the background, we get it all. Okay, Pam said, I love these short but challenging videos. Tricep dips hurt my wrists. Any exercise I can exchange for it? Yes, couple of them. So first, you can always try doing your tricep dips on a chair, okay? So I just want to put that out there. It's a little bit less intense than doing it on your mat. You can also try changing the angle of your hands, so pointing your fingertips more out to the side versus straight back towards you. So kind of more like this than this. You could also, if you have light hand weights, see if I can kind of show you the position here. You can do just tricep kickbacks. So if to keep it Pilates related, we want to keep our collarbone open. We want to hinge forward just slightly. Abs are engaged. And you're going to send the arm back, squeeze the tricep, and bend in. Send it back and bend in. Make sure that you keep that collarbone open. So many people want to round forward and just kind of do this. No. Then you're not even in your tricep anymore. You're in your neck and your shoulders. Okay, we don't want to do that. Open up and isolate the tricep as you kick back and bend in. Okay? Yes, so Sally said having an accountability partner is key. Find a friend or person in the sisterhood, life-changing. So true. One of the things I really encourage you guys to do is find an accountability buddy during this challenge. It's not too late. Invite your friends to join. We're only on day 2. We still have 8 more days, right? We still have, is that right? 7, 8 of workouts. So invite someone to join you if you haven't already. Text each other each day. If you need to find someone in this group, find someone in this group, but it does help to have a friend that you can reach out to. Even a group text going. Someone just shared their group text with me today, and they were all like complaining about the workouts and Robin is killing me and all that. And I love it. That's exactly what I want. Share this experience together. It's okay if you complain about me and my lack of counting or any of those things. Bond with each other. Encourage each other. Keep each other moving on those days when you feel like you don't want to do your workout or you're feeling discouraged, okay? Oh, thank you, Becky. Becky just posted the link. Becky from our team. She just posted the link to the roll-up tutorial. Thanks, Becky. Wow, Mona. Mona managed to get it in today, even after having a migraine. Good job. I hope you're feeling better. Deborah, I love that you're doing this, Deborah. That's awesome. Okay. What else? Okay, Shelly Spencer is asking, what recommendation do you have for minimizing strain on my neck during Pilates, as I have arthritis in my neck? Yes, okay, so a couple of resources I have for you, but the first one is going to be, don't hesitate to keep your head resting flat on the mat, okay? In fact, I would even recommend putting a little folded towel under your head just to help to get the angle right, so you keep the S-curve, the natural S-curve of your spine. I wish I could show you on the mat, but what can happen sometimes is if you have sort of forward rounded shoulders, which many of us do, and then you lay on your back, you can kind of get this like awkward shoulders forward, this kind of weird thing going on your neck, even when you're laying with your head flat on the mat. So if you can fold a towel, for many people, what that helps to do is it helps to get the head up in line a little bit more so that it allows the chest to fall open and it gives you a better position. The only key there that I want to make sure you remember, this is a safety tip, is if you have your head on a little pillow or a folded towel, if you're lifting your hips off the mat, you want to remove that towel, okay? So because it can kind of push your head forward as your hips are coming up, and we don't want to do that. So remove the towel if you're lifting your hips. But don't hesitate to leave your head on the mat and just focus on your alignment of your spine and deep engagement of the core. You can do that through a variety of exercises and still do the leg movements and get a ton of work and still build that core strength without aggravating your neck. I also would recommend going over to my YouTube channel and checking out my Pilates for Beginners series. It's about 5 videos, they're short, and I talk about this in quite a bit of detail. Different tricks and tips for how to get out of the neck and into the abs. Because that's what's happening, right? Many of us we don't have the core strength that we need yet, right? Thumbs up if you can relate to not having the core strength that you need yet. That's okay, that's why we're here. But what ends up happening is that when you come up into a chest lift, your abdominals are what should be doing the majority of the work to keep you lifted off of the mat. But if you don't have that connection yet, you don't have that strength yet, what muscles are gonna work to keep your head and neck off of the mat? Your neck muscles. And they're gonna try to hold you up and they're gonna strain. And these muscles were not made to hold your head like that for very long, or even try to lift the shoulders for very long. So they're gonna tire out, they're gonna get sore, and you're gonna be like, oh, that doesn't feel very good. So I have some tips. You can interlace your hands behind your head. And when I say that, we're not talking like 1980s sit-ups. No, we're talking like create a hammock, fully interlace your hands behind your head, bring them like a hammock behind your head, bring your elbows slightly in front of you so you're actually supporting the head. And you're not pulling on the head, but you're definitely supporting it. And then you're really relying on those ab muscles to help you lift up. So those are a couple of tips that you can use. Go check out the Pilates for Beginners series. I'm trying to think. There's one, I think, that has the word flexion in the title, and that's going to really talk about different tips and tricks for lifting your head, neck, and chest without strain. Okay, hopefully that was helpful. Lisa, you have boy-girl twins too. Yay, how old are they? Our twins were a big surprise. Never in a million years did I think I was going to have twins. Never. So talk about a big surprise. Definitely rocked our world. Dina says, I'm assuming you aren't as fit as you are by just 15 minutes a day. What's your own fitness routine? How long are your workouts? Is it all Pilates or other things like cardio? I am a product of what I preach. And the majority of my workouts are around 15 minutes, 20 on a good day. I rarely work out for longer than that. I just don't have time and I don't need to. I mean, need to is a wrong word. Because getting your heart rate up for longer periods of time, more exercise can be a great thing. But as I mentioned, I have 4 kids, just turned 6, just turned 4, and just turned 1. So I don't have a lot of time, but this is what I do. I do primarily Pilates, and I do about 15 minutes as often as I can. Sometimes I'll get in a groove of doing HIIT workouts as well, just at home. Just sometimes I make up my own, sometimes I follow a video. I used to be a runner. I haven't run since before having the twins, so I'd love to get back into that at some point because I love running and what it does for mental health, but I'm not doing that right now. And that's pretty much what I do. So don't think that 15 minutes can't bring results, because it can. I'll tell you, there are a lot of other things that go into someone being healthy, and that is all the stuff that we talk about here outside of Pilates here at The Balanced Life. It's mental health, emotional well-being, because that affects your stress levels, that affects how your body stores fat, it affects your hormones, it affects your skin, it affects your sleep, right? Sleep matters. The food that you eat matters. I eat a really healthy but balanced diet. I'm not strict about anything. I don't follow anything religiously, other than trying to eat as the least amount of processed foods as possible. But we go to restaurants every week, and I eat dark chocolate almost every day. Every day. And yeah, it's about balance. And that's why I preach this, because I think I have found this happy place. And I used to spend hours in the gym, and I used to think more, harder, or be on a diet or more restriction, and and I was in worse shape and worse mental health for sure than I am right now. So that is why I do this, because I want you guys to experience how this can work for you. Okay, let me keep going. Okay, good. I got to the neck questions. Okay, good question. Nihal said, do you keep your lower back on the mat during leg circles? So leg circles are going to be in neutral spine. So neutral spine is when you have a little tiny space between the small of your back and your mat. Now, here's the thing. For most people, in order to maintain neutral spine, you're actually going to feel like you're almost trying to flatten your back into the mat. I find that most people, if they're trying to keep a small arch in the back, they're usually overextending. So think to yourself, almost pulling your back into the mat, but not quite. Like almost, but not so much that it causes you to really flatten and tuck your pelvis under, okay? So you're trying to keep that neutral spine, neutral pelvis, drawing the abdominals up and back, and trying to maintain that neutral spine as you circle the leg. Yes, Serene said, I'm 2 months postpartum. I did Pilates during my pregnancy, and my strength has come back so much faster this time around. But with 5 kids, now 15 minutes is perfect for your busy life. Oh my gosh, you're a hero. So Beth just asked about hip flexors, and Beth, I just talked about that earlier in the video. So short answer, but go ahead and rewatch and rewind. Short answer is that if your hip flexors are grabbing or hurting or straining, those are like the top front of your thighs, it typically means that we need to get your core kicking a little bit more, your core kicking in. We want those deep core muscles to start doing the work, because right now, chances are your hip flexors are trying to do it all. And so what's happening is they're getting tired, and that's what you're feeling. They're getting overworked, they're getting tired, they're getting strained, and that's because we need the pelvic floor, the transverse abdominis, those deep core muscles that we're gonna build here in this challenge aren't quite doing their job yet. So we'll get there, just gotta keep at it, and it'll become more and more natural for you to start feeling the core connection, and so you can release those hip flexors a little bit more, and it will come with time. Yeah. Okay. Oh, great. Eileen said she used yoga blocks to help with the tricep dips. Love it. That's great. Sandra, if you're feeling hip pain during the toe taps, I'm guessing it's the same thing I'm just talking about right now. Those hip flexors tightening up. So what I would do if you're feeling that so much and it's just causing you to not even feel like you're getting the core work out of it, is either make your movement smaller so you don't tap the mat all the way, you just come a little bit down and a little bit up, or keep one foot on the mat and do the toe taps with one leg, really keeping that deep core connection, neutral spine, and then switch toe taps on the other leg until you work up to being able to keep both legs in the air. Yes, so Colleen said, should we be doing navel to spine, pulling in our abs during all of the exercises? Pretty much, yes. Yep. Now, this is where I differ because I really have been blessed to work in a lot of wonderful studios with physical therapists and movement professionals that are not just strictly Pilates professionals. So yes, pretty much before every Pilates exercise and during Pilates exercise, you are to engage your deep core muscles. So belly button to spine. What I like to actually think about the most is a corset wrapping from 360 degrees all the way around, drawing that waist in as tight as you can. And moving from there, then you're stabilized, right? You're moving from a safe space. You're protecting your lower back. You're strong. You're stable. That being said, I don't want that to cause you to be rigid and like, I can't breathe and I'm squeezing and now I can't move, right? We want functional movement. This is to take us into our daily life feeling amazing, feeling strong, so that when we go pick up our laundry and move really quickly, we are in good alignment. When we run to pick up our kids, we are, naturally starting to engage those core muscles, but not like robots moving around, right? So yes, I want you to be thinking about during your workouts, drawing the belly button up and in, wrapping from all sides, front to back, side to side, nice, tight center, but also knowing that it's okay to breathe, and it's okay to move and play with it a little bit and feel the engagement and feel the release and kind of move with the exercises. Okay. I'm tight in my hip flexors. Anything you would recommend to stretch them out between workouts? Yeah, I will say that the best thing these days, what research tells us, is stretching is great, but mobility is better. So what that means is holding stretches is good and helpful, but actually moving through movements and exercises like we're doing in these Pilates workouts is going to be actually the most effective for increasing range of motion and making you feel better. So there are stretches you can do. Lunges are a great example. Doing a couple of lunges for your hip flexors is a great thing to do. Start there and let me know how that feels. Maria says, my mom has been doing some of your other videos and the benefits she has seen are amazing. That makes me so happy. I love it. How many sisterhood members are watching right now? Can we do a roll call? Say, right here. Okay, Carol, I am located in Santa Barbara, California. So a little bit north of LA. It's like central coast of California. Yay, Alyssa just got day 2 done. Way to go, Alyssa. Woo woo. She's a sisterhood member. Christina, okay, so this is a good question. So Lois says, what happens after the 10-day challenge? So this is an important thing I want you to know, okay? I try to say this as much as I can in as many emails as I can, but without fail, someone always at the end is like, you didn't tell me. So here, listen up. Okay, these workouts are available all the time, ongoing for our sisterhood members. So that's our community. We do these kind of workouts all year round together, month after month. We start a new calendar together every month. We focus on all of this. We focus on balance. We focus on changing our relationship with exercise so that we feel more motivated, feel more inspired, and see better results. That's our online community. And a couple of times a year, I do these free challenges. And so this challenge lives inside the Balanced Life Sisterhood, but for the sake of the challenge, we make it public so that anyone can join us, anyone can try and determine if this is something that would be helpful for them. for you. So we run it live, we run it free. As you know, it's literally free, no strings attached. You know, you didn't have to put in a credit card information or anything like that. So it's just it's like, try it, see if you like it. I want as many people to try this as possible. And then at the end of the challenge, I'm going to reopen the enrollment to the sisterhood. So we open it to the public a few times a year, and then we close it to the public for most of the year. And there's a lot of reasons for why we do that. I can go into that later. But at the end of the challenge, we'll open the doors and say, hey, if you're loving this, if you want to continue, if you want ongoing access to these workouts, plus our whole library that you get inside the sisterhood, then come join us. Now's the time, and it's so much fun, and you can see our sisterhood members who are here doing their little roll call, letting us know they're here. Ask them questions, ask them about their experience. So I'll share more about that at the end of the challenge. There's that opportunity for you. But again, I only want you to do that if you end up doing this challenge and you're like, this helps me. This is something that helps me to build strength. It helps me to fit workouts into my busy schedule. It works for me. I feel better when I'm doing it. And that's what it's for. So can men join the sisterhood? We do have some men in the sisterhood. It is definitely geared towards women, just in terms of conversation, things like that we talk about, missions and things like that. But we have some men in there, and we have a lot of husbands or boyfriends who love doing the workouts with their partner. So, yes, so it's mostly women, but anyone is welcome who wants these short Pilates workouts in our community and everything else that we offer. Stephanie, hi Stephanie, says, I love Pilates. It's the most valuable thing I've added to my life in the last few years. I crave it now, even if it's just a short 10-minute stretch workout. Oh my gosh, I love it. I think that's one of the biggest things that I hear from our members is that exercise that used to feel like a chore and another thing on the to-do list and something that you're constantly failing at. One of the biggest shifts that people notice when they start, honestly, truly, usually with these challenges, and then become a sisterhood member is that shift of exercise becoming something that is enjoyable and life-giving and not guilt-inducing and energizing and helps them to relate to their body in a new way and see results, see those new ab muscles coming in, feel stronger, feel proud about the way that they're taking care of themselves. So that's my favorite thing. Okay, I want to share two more things, and then I'll stay on and answer questions for those of you who have them. But this is a theme I want you to think about as we continue on, okay? I heard this somewhere from someone on some Instagram post like years or months and years ago, but so I don't know who to credit it to, but I thought it was so good. Because someone today posted in the Facebook group, I need more practice. And I'm like, yes, you do. We all do. And so I want you to keep this in your mind. When we do Pilates, we are just practicing Pilates. You're practicing your roll-up. You're practicing your movements to get better. You're practicing to get stronger. It's not a performance. And I think if you can make that distinction, you're gonna have a better relationship and a more enjoyable time on your mat. So if you show up thinking it's like a performance, then that's putting pressure on yourself to execute all of the moves exactly as you should, to be able to do them flawlessly or as close to flawlessly as possible, to not have to modify, to not have any bad days. You're putting the pressure on yourself to look like me. I'm an instructor. I do this all the time. I've been doing it for years, right? So if you're showing and you're kind of thinking of it as like a performance, then if you're not performing at the level that you think you should be, you're going to feel bad about yourself and you're going to feel discouraged. And that's not going to keep you motivated. That's going to be the first thing that causes you to throw in the towel and give up. And this is just going to be another one of those things that you signed up for that didn't do anything for you. And I don't want that for you, okay? What I want you to think of this as practicing Pilates. So you're practicing. Every day that you show up on your mat, you're just practicing. You're practicing your tees or you're practicing your roll-up. Some days you're gonna feel like, ooh, that was a good day. I was like feeling stronger and nailing it. And you're gonna have some days where you're just off and you're like, that was not my best day, and oof, feel heavy today, or I feel sluggish today. But tomorrow's another day to practice. And so I want you to just take that mental shift with you into the rest of this challenge, okay? Are you with me on that? It's not a performance. No one is watching you. No one is grading you. You don't have to show up in a certain way. Just get on your mat, practice your exercises, try a little harder each day. Notice those small bits of progress that you make. Understand that you're gonna have good days and bad days, but the key to getting stronger and seeing results is showing up day after day, okay? Day after day, the progress will come. There's no way to scoot around it. There's no way to just show up magically and perform and all of a sudden be strong and amazing and nailing your Pilates exercises. Nope, it's practice. It's gonna take time, and we are doing that together here in a safe, positive, encouraging environment where it's okay to show up that way, okay? And then similarly on that note, if you're the type of person that is prone to have an all or nothing attitude when it comes to exercise, I encourage you to let this be the time to drop that, to change that. Workouts do not have to be an hour to be worthwhile. I am living proof of that. I've gotten stronger doing these short workouts than I ever did doing longer workouts in a gym. So workouts do not have to be long in order to be worth it. So change that perspective. They've got to be intentional. They have to be effective. They have to be causing you to use your body in a smart and efficient way in order to see results, but they don't have to be long in order to see results, right? There's a big difference there. And similarly, ditch the all or nothing mentality when it comes to like, you have to do this challenge perfectly, 100%, make every day at a certain time, or you're gonna give up. You're gonna throw in the towel. Don't do that, okay? That's, again, a surefire way to get you to give up and not complete the challenge, because something's gonna happen. Life's gonna happen. You're gonna have an off day. You're gonna have your schedule get changed. You're gonna have a kid who's crying and doesn't want you to do your workout. You're gonna have a headache one day, whatever it might be. So we have to shift to say, I'm gonna do something. Something is always better than nothing, okay? So commit with me on those two things. Practice over performance and ditching that all or nothing mentality, okay? Are you with me? Okay, that's my charge for all of you today. Let me scroll back through. I'll answer a few more questions and then we'll call it a night, because I know it's getting late where some of you are. And don't worry, I'm gonna be back in this group a lot this week. We're doing this together. I'm here for you, okay? I'm here to cheer you on, answer your questions, and support you. It's my favorite thing to do. Hey Barb. Barb says, I started with a 5-day challenge and then joined the sisterhood. The gym was too hard with many injuries. Pilates is something I can do and I love it. Yay, Oksana. That makes me happy. Okay. Barb says, this has helped my low back and flexibility for sure. Glad I found Robin. Oh, I'm glad you found us too. Okay. Okay, so I don't know if I fully finished my thought earlier. So when I open enrollment, so these workouts, just keep in mind, they're available to the public for the duration of the challenge, okay? You can go back and revisit day 1, you can go back and revisit day 2 throughout the whole challenge, but at the end of the challenge, they will no longer be available to the public. They go back into the sisterhood membership. So if you want to become a member, you'll get ongoing access. That's the best way to do it. If you want to keep doing these workouts, keep them in your arsenal, be able to come back to them anytime you want. But after the challenge is over, we'll give a few days grace to catch up at the end. But after that, the links and the emails won't work. They won't be on YouTube. We give them back to our members because that's where these workouts live. Okay. Someone said, you're so peaceful for having 4 kids. Do you meditate? I do Pilates. I do Pilates. Honestly, Pilates is my meditation. I'm a big fan of meditating. I wish I was better at keeping the habit of it. I have my Headspace app that I love, but I recently have not been very good at it. So Pilates for me is that time to focus my brain, to focus my mind on my body, to breathe, to move, and to, some people struggle with meditation, and in some ways Pilates helps provide that movement with your body for those kinesthetic people where you can truly focus. That's why it's so powerful. You're having to focus on what you're doing, where you're putting your foot, which muscle you're engaging, how you're breathing, and therefore you're not worrying about what so-and-so said or how many items are on your to-do list or when you're going to fit in that thing. No, that's why these 15 minutes on your mat can be so restorative and so powerful, because it causes you to be present, focused, and it allows you to feel renewed when you're done. It's really incredible. Let's see, will you always have some available on YouTube? Yes, I do have some workouts on YouTube, always. Shorter workouts. I will always have some there for the public for free if that's just your style. And then the Sisterhood is where you'll find more and longer and a whole bunch of other resources, recipes, community, support, all of that. But we can talk about that later. Yes, good, Wendy. Hi, welcome. Karen, yay. Okay. All right, you guys, I'm going to wrap us up for the night because it's getting late. It's getting late where I am, so it's probably late where you are. But I just want to say good job. Keep up the good work. Keep sharing here in the group, okay? Post each day. Let me know that you're completing the workouts. That accountability is going to keep you motivated. And remember what we talked about here today. Show up on your mat to practice each day. Don't become wrapped up in the all or nothing mindset, and just keep moving forward one day at a time, okay? By the end of these 10 days, you are going to feel so good, so accomplished. You're going to notice results, and you're going to be like, I can do this. I'm doing this. I've got a new routine. I've got a new habit. I'm feeling stronger. I'm feeling healthier. And I want you to make it there. So stick with me. What time is the next live feed? Good question. I'll post about it here in the group. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe the next day. My little kids are what tend to dictate my schedule. So I will let you know in here though before I go live so you can put it in your calendar. Okay, thank you guys for joining me tonight. This is so fun. I'm so grateful you're all here and doing this together and really prioritizing yourself. You're worth it, and we're gonna keep having fun. Okay, talk to you guys tomorrow. See you on your mat very soon. Okay, bye guys.